You have fake abs.
Yes. But looking at me, you wouldn't go, she looks
You
fake.
have etched abs?
Yeah, but
What did you spend on fake abs?
no, that was included. The BBL is you get the etched abs and the behind.
And now you can't pay your mortgage and you're 4 months behind.
Yes. But that's why there's mortgage
BBL
assistance.
over mortgage.
Mortgage assistance programs are meant for this.
What? You make so much money. How do you qualify for a mortgage assistance program? You make $171,600 a year and you have to subsidize yourself? Here's the fake abs.
What do you think?
Why? I don't get it.
It looks fantastic.
So how do fake abs work with getting fat?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue when I'm pregnant, right? Like you're basically going to have abs over your...
Are you doing that?
I mean, not at this moment.
Aren't you tick, tick, clock, clock?
Yeah, but we're in modern times. You know, down in Argentina, they don't have kids to 40s.
Are they somewhere?
Are they?
The eggs?
No, I don't believe in that.
Is it just me or do men not approach women anymore? I hate dating apps. I do not want to get back on one. I'd like to meet someone IRL, in real life, in the wild. But this seems hard as hell because if you're someone who doesn't go out to bars, it seems like at bars, it's socially acceptable for like people to approach each other. But everywhere else, like, you know, in a coffee shop or like in a restaurant or on the street, it seems like it's not like the norm anymore. Like everyone just kind of minds their own business. And I don't know if this is just me or if this is just where I live. I live in kind of a small town, or if it's like we've almost swung too far in the other direction. Because I remember when I was a teenager, like 15 years ago, men were like coming after me. I don't like, it was like borderline, like it was harassment. Well, like, I don't want to be harassed. We don't need to do that. But at the same time, like I don't know, I'd like people to talk to me. Like, I don't want, it feels like we've gone so far in the other direction where everyone kind of operates completely independently. They look down, like they pass someone, they don't even really say hi. They're looking at their phones. Like they'll be like, oh, that person's cute, but they won't do anything about it. And this makes it really hard. I think when you're single, when you even just want to make friends, you want to connect with new people because everyone is just absorbed in their own world. Like, is everyone lonely? Like, is everyone, I don't know. It's just, I don't like this.
Need to figure out what the you want. Women need to come together. I don't understand how women have a T app specifically revolved around talking about every man that they've ever dated, but they don't have an app to talk to each other about their mentality or why they think the way that they do. So how the do you legitimately go 5 to 10 years talking about how men need to stop being disrespectful and catcalling and men need to respect women, and then in the same breath turn around when you're not getting validated and not getting attention and go, men are weird because they don't talk to women anymore. Men aren't men anymore because they don't approach girls. When y'all are literally the reason for that. Y'all need to start being accountable, and I know you don't know what accountability is. Men used to force you to be accountable back in the day, and they gave you way too many rights, and now you're walking around mindlessly and aimlessly, not knowing how to operate in the world. But you need to get your together. You need to know that you're a dunce, and if you don't like what men are doing, look at what women have done to cause men to be that.
So one of my guy friends gave me permission to make a Hinge account for him because I was telling him how easy dating is with dating apps, and he was telling me that it's incredibly difficult. And I was like, Pete, you must be doing something wrong. And he gave me permission to create an account for him and just run the account. I've been a virtual boy for 3 days, and I've never felt this bad about myself. I feel like a freaking loser trying to get these girls to like me. And I'm starting to hate women because I'm like, when I say I mean Pete, because that's the account I'm using. Pete's about a 6. But I'm so desperate, I'm liking the 2s and the 3s, and even they won't like me back, Pete, which is a 6. So what level of delusion has entered women's heads? Like, what is going on? It is so difficult dating as a boy. I hate it. I'm on day 3 of being a boy, and I hate women, and I'm more depressed than ever.
This is exactly what men have been saying for years about dating apps. Because first off, it is very rare for men to even get matches, especially matches with women that they are actually physically attracted to. And that is not because men are swiping only on supermodels, like they're only swiping on 10s. They are swiping right on a variety of women, just as long as they think that they could be attracted to her. But ladies, you have to understand that even when men find matches, it is very rare for them to have an actually good conversation. Because usually you ladies are really dry texters and you will just ghost them oftentimes. So yeah, men have been complaining about this for the longest of times, which is why if you're a woman that is interested in a man off of a dating app, all you have to do is to show a little bit of effort. If you do that, that man is going to double down on the effort and the energy that he spends on you. He's going to pursue you and most likely be everything that you want him to be. It is like a no-fail way to end up with a boyfriend.
I got a bone to pick with y'all men.
No, you don't. You just got your hair done and you feeling yourself. But it's okay. We're going to entertain it. Your discretion's advised.
Why is it that y'all like to throw out compliments to women, telling them how beautiful they are and how you like the way they look and blah, 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 but you don't ask for their number?
To put it plain and simple, a compliment means nothing to a woman that gets them on a regular nowadays. It only holds value if it's attached to some kind of dollar amount, and I don't understand why. This isn't the early 2000s where you can compliment a woman and she truly appreciate it and be okay with you starting a conversation. Or we understand that getting this woman's number is going to come with some kind of bills eventually. Let's say you get that number, you hit her up the next day, magically she's going to be short $500 for her rent. And now she's expecting you to come out of pocket for it. And keep in mind, those compliments you was giving her didn't end when you first met her. They continue out through the conversation that y'all was having. And as soon as you disregard that $500 request, now you broke. You ain't shit. Now all those compliments become a weapon for her to use against you because you didn't want to give her $500 of your own money. It sounds a little something like, oh, you like me, you think I'm beautiful, you think you want to be with me, but you don't want to pay my bills? Something like that.
Like, can you tell me why that is? You just want to be nice, throw out a compliment today, or you're scared? Which one is it?
It's definitely not men being scared, contrary to popular belief. Most men are not afraid of rejection. But the fact still remains, the art of getting a woman's number is not what it used to be. And I am wise enough to understand that this is not every woman, and I believe there are some women still out there that are willing to have a conversation with a man that compliments them. However, there are enough breezies screaming from the rooftops saying, my number costs $500 out the gate. Hey, I did a video on this very app where a woman told a young man it was $20 just to speak to her, let alone get her number. But besides all of that, there are generally men that just want to give a compliment. They thought you looked nice in the moment, and they just wanted to let you know. It's a healthy way to push back positivity into our dating ecosystem. Every compliment does not come with a motive. Some are just genuine compliments. And I think as people, we need to do a better job at normalizing compliments and making them go back to what they used to be for us. But you know what? Knowing y'all ain't gonna listen to what I'm saying. I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep the change.
So you think that women are not more emotional than men?
Men have our emotions in a linear fashion. When we're angry, we're angry.
Mm-hmm.
When we're sad, we're sad. When we're aroused, we're aroused. When we're happy, we're happy. Women have emotions about their emotions. A woman can be turned on, but she could be ashamed of her being turned on.
Mm-hmm.
She could be curious about her shame about being turned on.
Mm-hmm.
She could be happy about her curiosity, about her shame about being turned on. They run in loops rather than going linear and running straight.
Oh.
If men's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would crumble. If women's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would be fine.
Oh, really? Who's going to raise all the children?
Women aren't even raising their own kids. They're in daycare.
That's actually incorrect.
They're in daycare and public school. No, it's $1 billion industry.
It is $1 billion industry, but statistically, women have the majority of childcare burden. And not a lot of people can afford daycare nowadays.
Well, who is the kid spending the most time with if the mom's at work? Most mothers work nowadays. So the kid is spending more time at school or at daycare.
Do you think, like, because you feel that you're not, like, a feminist or whatever, you are better than other women?
No, I don't. I'm a pretty humble person.
Do you feel that we hate men?
A lot of what you're saying does seem like man-hating behavior.
I mean, I do think men suck. I think a lot, because of the patriarchy, a lot of men have arrogance and they mistreat women. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree.
So you think men don't mistreat women?
I do not think that a majority of men mistreat women.
So
I do not.
Why do you think there are phrases like, ugh, men suck?
because I think women are petty and dramatic.
Okay, so just because like you're going against other women doesn't mean like men are gonna choose you.
I'm not a pick me. I'm married. I'm already sold. I'm off the streets.
The streets?
Yeah, where all you are.
So you think because I'm not married, I'm on the streets and I like really need a husband?
You're really bitterly and desperately single, yes. You're obviously not happy. Your attitude does not scream, I'm happy and I love my life.
Women on dating apps, can you explain this to me? I don't get it. When I'm swiping through and I see a picture and there's two girls and one's really attractive and then the other one, and I know if I scroll to the next picture which one you are, what's the strategy? Like, what's this? Am I supposed to be like, oh, thank God you're not the hot one? What is, it's like I'm taking crazy pills. I mean, why is that your strategy?
Oh, in this segment, I think with the older gentleman in Pearl, he was talking about a lot of ladies' emotions. They don't run linear, similar to what a man's does. They run in a whole bunch of different directions. I have an emotion about an emotion. Curious, I'm interested. I'm sad about the way I feel. I feel sad, and I'm sad that I'm sad. I'm sad that I'm mad. I'm sad that I'm happy. I shouldn't be feeling this way. And it's not just, man, why am I feeling this way? Wow. It's an intense guilt or an intense, sometimes it's an intense arousal for, whatever emotion it is. And it doesn't, it becomes less about the actual emotion that you're feeling and more about how you feel. Modern women, they see themselves, I don't want to say in third person, but they see them, they have a lot of, and I use the term loosely, out of body experiences, because they're always trying to look at themselves through other people's eyes. How will people see me? Will people accept me this way? Am I pretty enough? If I do this, will I look like her? Oh, she has and they're always comparing. That's why they're, honestly and truly, a lot of times they're their own worst enemy. When men have said, no, I like the way you look. You're perfect to me. I mean, that's the type of woman that I like. I like your style too. I like your hair. I love your eyes. It doesn't matter to them because they fight that battle within themselves. And then, like he said, their emotions compound, emotion upon emotion upon emotion. And a lot of times a man has to sift through that. That's what they look for in a man.
I've been ignoring this for a while, but I'm going to say it now. I'm all for feminism, fully. But somewhere along the way, a lot of you all forgot it was not about pulling men down to feel powerful. It was about standing beside them. Not above, not below, beside. And I say this with love. But the moment I use a male example to explain shame or emotional stuff in my videos, the rage in the comments, it's wild. Suddenly I'm defending men. Suddenly it's patriarchy this, patriarchy that. Babe, no, that's not feminism. That's revenge, that's bitterness. If anger and blame are driving you, that's not healing, that's projection. And don't get me wrong, I know the system's been hell on women. I get it. But hating men, that's not the solution. In fact, I'm just going to go by my own experience as a coach. I get more male clients than female. These are men doing the inner work, unlearning shame, taking accountability. So if you think men are not trying, you're just not looking at the right places. I just don't understand the double standards. You get to throw tantrums and call it hormones, or this is just how girls are. But when he shuts down, suddenly he's a red flag. Like, babe, he's socially conditioned to suppress. He's unlearning decades of emotional shutdown. See, I'm not here to excuse bad behavior. No, not at all. But I'm here to say healing doesn't happen through blame. It happens through accountability, space, connection. You want better relationships? Stop playing team woman versus team men. Start making it you versus your pattern. Because we have got flaws too. We have got ego too. And healing starts when we stop pointing fingers and start holding mirrors. Not everyone's ready for that. But if you are, let's go.
Here's my hot take on a girls' night. Girls' night is not girls' night. Please stop lying. Dressing up in skimpy outfits, saying I'm doing it for my girls. I worked hard all week. I deserve this. No, you're not. You're actually chasing outside validation and attention from men who are not your husband or your boyfriend. Let's be real. That is not empowerment. That is pure disrespect. This has nothing to do with insecurity at all. This is about respect. Respect for your man, respect for your relationship, respect for yourself. If you're fully committed, why put yourself in an environment built on alcohol, hooking up, and attention. You do not go fishing where you do not intend to catch. A real girls' night, in my opinion, that is pajamas, movies, laughs, deep talks, maybe some wine, not parading around bars, clubs, or where single people are on the prowl. Call it for what it is, temptation and destruction. If you think that's innocent fun, then you do not have the first clue about loyalty. Respect is a choice, and choosing to avoid those places is how you prove where your loyalty really stands.
If you think about it, there's nothing to appreciate a man for.
If you think about it,
ugly women ain't gonna find no true love. I promise you.
There's nothing to appreciate a man for.
Ask any ugly woman. Have you ever found true love, man? Nope.
it really sucks when you're not attractive because men completely ignore you, right?
Rule number one, ladies, do not take advice from ugly women. Stop with the everybody's beautiful. Where are these ugly women getting their confidence from? I want to know.
If you think about it.
Fat women, I know, they get their confidence from black dudes and Puerto Ricans hitting on them. But ugly women, what is it? Is it the Mexicans that are coming in and hitting on you that make you think you're special? Number two, just don't listen to fat women either. Fat women will always tell you the best way to lose weight, which already is like...
There's nothing to appreciate a man for.
So, get up in the morning, brush them teeth, put that makeup on, do your hair, okay? Put on some lotion, spray some perfume, take a bath, take a shower, wear an outfit, not a t-shirt. I'm just being honest. People can say I'm mean, but they can't say they can't say it's not true what I'm telling y'all. How are you going to get on the screen talking about you looking for true love and true love is not looking for you?
What is the one thing that every race, religion, nationality has in common?
Leadership.
Wrong. The one thing everyone has in common, ugly people, right? Every race has ugly people. The beauty of ugly is that it doesn't discriminate. Write that down, please. Should we treat ugly people the same as attractive people?
Yes, we should.
The actual correct answer is no.
Y'all, please stop letting hating men and women bully you out of finding and wanting to be with a rich man. There is literally no award for suffering. And being with a rich man is lit. Like, you're not stressed out. You can focus on yourself. You get to do one in a lifetime experiences. And worst case scenario, if you get played, at least you get a good return on your investment. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't.
I'm not throwing my self-esteem on the ground because a guy have money. A lot of these rich people are into some weird. And when you get into a relationship with them, they want to do a bunch of stuff to you. Have you guys seen Diddy? Huh? The that Cassie had to go through with that man and he had money? That's what some of y'all are going to go through.
What is the process for a woman to check themselves? Because I hear this all the time from men. They be like, bro, women don't take no accountability. So what was it like for you to say, I'm going to take accountability. I'm tough.
I had to look myself in the mirror. It was argument after argument. And the arguments was the exact same argument of let me lead. You know what I'm saying? It can't be two head of the household, you know? And once I got into my Bible, once I got into my word, it was like, let that man lead. You know, it was the same argument repeat all the time, the same thing over and over and over. It was us clashing like this. Why? Because I was wanting to run things because that's what I was taught to do. But then when I realized it was affecting my marriage and I didn't want to be a single mom and I wanted my kids to have a different life from me. I wanted them to have a mom and dad in the house. It was like I had to tighten up. It was like, if you want this thing, close your mouth. Close your mouth. And I know a lot of women is like, we living in a day now where, it's a lot of, the type of energy, a lot of, I ain't gonna go there. But my marriage was what was important. My children was important. Them living in a 2-parent household was important. And if me closing my mouth is gonna save it, I'm gonna close my mouth.
Okay, if you're going to make a video about your husband, how he's literally the worst man alive, and then your next post is not a divorce announcement, it's a pregnancy announcement, I need you to shut off your phone and stop telling us. You clearly like to be miserable. Stop telling us.
Now, this is something that I can actually agree with. However, there's a part that she's not discussing. And that part is that those same women that get online and complain about their relationships and marriages and paint their husband out to be the worst person possible and still stay with him, be lying. A lot of them do it for the validation and the attention of other women on social media because it feels good. That's why a lot of those women don't ever leave, because he's not really as horrible as they make him out to be. And not only do they refuse to leave, you never actually see this man. You don't even know if he really exists. And a lot of the times, if they do actually have a husband, he's not even on social media as much as they are. And so in turn, there's a good chance he's probably not going to even see the video that she made about him unless someone directly sends it to him, which is a slim chance, which now puts him in a position to probably never ever see the video. And if he ever does approach her about it, she's going to make light of the situation, make it seem like it's nothing when it really is something. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to be like, you know what, whatever. I'm not really tripping about it because I know it's not true, even though it should be a really big issue in the relationship. And then there's a good chance she's probably going to give him that head that she promised him 3 months ago. And he's going to feel better by himself. He's going to climax, go to sleep, and forget all about it. Unfortunately, that is the sequence for a lot of men in America. But you know what? I ain't got to listen to what I'm saying because I'm just a normal guy. That could be changed.
To the women that take over a day and a half to respond to a text message, just know that I get it. Lesser men would probably think it's an obvious ploy to try and make yourself look busier and more popular than you actually are. But I know that when you are not performing heart transplants on orphans or adopting turtles with HIV, you're training for both the summer and winter Olympics. And even though when we met, you were waiting for the bus, the only bus you take now is your tour bus around the country because you're also an accomplished folk singer and banjoist. And the selfies you put up during that time were not a blatant slap in the face to me, but instead a attempt from your management team to try and make you look more human and normal, which we now know you're not. So just the fact that you took the half second to heart my message shows how truly selfless and generous you are. And if you were ever able to respond with a few words or even a full sentence, that would be life-changing for me. But of course, no rush.
If your boyfriend complains about doing normal boyfriend tasks, it's a huge red flag and you should know now.
Oh dear. Now, believe it or not, there are actually still quite a large number of women that genuinely believe in stereotypical gender roles. However, I must point out that this usually only applies to when they're in a relationship, and more pointedly, it only applies to the men. They believe that if they're in a relationship with a man, that the man should be performing all the stereotypical chores that would fall to a gentleman, such as taking out the trash, building things, lifting heavy objects, and taking care of the car. Yet many of these women, because they mistakenly call themselves feminists, mostly because they don't understand the definition of the term, would be very upset if someone insinuated that they should be performing stereotypical women's tasks, such as cooking and cleaning. So why is gender roles okay in one situation, but yet not in another?
And I really like the mindset of the woman that was talking about, I didn't want to be a single mother. I just had to come to the realization that if I want this thing to work, I need to be quiet. I have to start closing my mouth. And a lot of modern women will hear that and say, well, he's taking away who you are. You're not really who you are. You're not your fullest self. Y'all's fullest self be unhinged. Y'all's fullest self be undisciplined, mouthy. I mean, even outside of relationships. We don't even need to get to a relationship. We're just talking about the way you behave with people around you in general. Y'all do that type of stuff and people don't want to be around you. That's what you're going to be running into. Y'all seem to act like y'all don't understand that. You are not a pleasant person to be around. And you're, like I said, we don't even need to get to dating. You're unpleasant to be around in the first place. Nobody is going to want to be around you.
Men laugh at other men who take women that they've been with serious. It's like, but you got what?
Had that.
Been there, done that. Other women may try to say that same type of time. Oh, babe, I've had that. No, babe, you ain't had them like this though. It's in a man's nature to desire a woman or to desire women. It's in your innate nature to be like, dang, she look good. while your woman is there. That's in a man's nature to just be like, yo, she is a good looking woman. That's not to say that you want to pursue her. Now, a woman may say the same thing and says, that dude looks good. Cool. The thing that makes any woman valuable is her being a virtuous woman. If Peter, Paul, and Patrick can say that they done been with your woman, that value has went down.
Right.
This is what we call a double standard.
It is.
Because if Patricia, Pam, and Pauletta been with your dude, your man has more value. Why? They look at you as to say, you got something that they wanted.
Right.
A purse.
Right.
A car. An outfit.
Right.
A house. No. This is really what's going to come. The life.
Mm.
When Pam, Pauletta, Patricia see that you got a man that they was with, but you got the good version. Now I'm going to give you a same example. With Paul, Peter, John, and Jabbar.
Mm-hmm.
If they see me with the girl that all of them hit, I'm the laughing stock.
Of course.
That's the point that I was just trying to make. Like, 3 girls, 3 men, same situation. That's the double standard. Am I saying that this is okay? No, I'm just giving you an example of.
How do we change this, though?
It will never. See, that's the thing. When you start hearing online, it will never change. Double standards are here to stay from BC
Till end of time.
to afterlife.
After time.
Double standards are here. They're not going anywhere. There's certain things that women can do that men could never. There's things that men could do that women could never. It's just here.
Taking a woman to dinner for the first date is crazy work in 2025. And
at this point, ladies, you're telling the men that they can't take you on coffee dates and they also can't take you on dinner dates. What do you want them to do? Go grocery shopping with you? You want him to bring you along when he's going on his hunting trip with the boys? What do you want? I'm sorry, I did cut her off. What she ends up saying is that women are not acclimated enough, that like it's too much of a shock to be thrown into a dinner date. Like it's too overwhelming. It's too much. I'm sorry, what do you think it feels like to men? Like they're the ones that have all the pressure on them to do all of the right things and plan the date, pay for the date, whether it's dinner or coffee. Dating is uncomfortable. You are sitting across from a stranger trying to get to know them. It's awkward. But I think that the people that do it best is that they don't care about these little things. They're not going to nitpick exactly what kind of date you picked for the first date. What they care about more is getting to know you as a person. Because men know if that woman is so nitpicky on the exact date that he picks, that if what he chooses to offer up as a first date actually keeps that woman from wanting to continue to get to know him, yeah, I don't think that's a loss. I think that's a win.
And ladies, stop dating men based on what other women think. There is no reason why you should be dismissing a man that you already like because your friends think that he's not tall enough or cute enough or funny enough or impressive enough. Y'all have been treating dating like it's some kind of competition to find the most conventionally attractive person that's also interested in you. And that's not what it is. If that's your mindset, you're treating men like a purse or an accessory, just something to compliment you while they stand there and do nothing. It's giving trophy wife, but in reverse. How did y'all reverse misogyny? Dating is supposed to be about finding someone who you enjoy spending time with, who cherishes you and loves you and respects you, as opposed to finding somebody that every time they walk into a room, your friends say, "Dang, girl, you did that." Why would that matter to you? Your relationship does not require group approval of any kind. The only opinion that matters is your own. Do you feel safe? Do you feel loved? Do you feel cherished? Everything else is noise. Because at the end of the day, your friends are not dating him. You are. Either you like him or you don't.
It can't be. Men will forever be the prize because it's not enough of them to go around. They will forever be the prize because it's not enough of them to go around. When you have women that will hurt one another just to be with somebody else's man, when you have women who will cheat with their sister's husband, you have women who will cheat with their best friend husband because they're lonely. You'll have cousins who will cheat with their own cousin's husband because they're lonely. This is why I tell y'all the sisterhood is not real. You'll be minding your business with your husband. You doing well. Everything is going well. But you have your own best friend that's jealous of you because your husband does everything that you want him to do when it comes to financial stability, when it comes to you having a covering, a strong covering. You understand? She jealous of you, but she'll sit up the entire, I'm happy for you, girl. I'm happy for you. But at the same time, scoping out your man. At the same time, giving you bad information about your man. At the same time, telling you, oh, I saw him somewhere. She didn't really see him anywhere. See, I want y'all to understand something. Just because you lay on your back and open your legs, okay, that doesn't mean that you're the prize, baby. That doesn't mean that you're the prize. I want you to understand this. Every woman lays on their back and open their legs. See, older women will get in here and tell y'all that, you'll be able to find a man in your 40s and 50s and 60s. You'll be able to get boyfriend applications in your 60s and this and that. And this is the uncomfortable truth. That's not real. It's very rare that these things happen.
And just a heads up for 2026, playing hard to get does not work anymore. That advice was perfect for a time when people had less options, less access to other people, less money, less opportunities. That is not now. Now people have the internet, we have everybody that we can talk to, so there is no point in running and chasing after somebody that doesn't appear to want you. This goes for both men and women, by the way. Nobody's chasing you. As soon as somebody expresses interest, you tell them, I think we should just be friends. You better mean it, because no one is going to check and make sure that you're serious. Healthy dating in 2026 looks like communication, effort, consistency on both ends. And if you have any type of problem with that, feel free to thank feminism.
I make enough money.
That should be enough for y'all to know in what direction this video is headed. But you know what? I had to see it, so do y'all. Viewer discretion is advised.
To pay all of my bills, take trips, spoil myself. Why in the world would I give my time to a man that wants me to go half? Get out of my face.
Sweetheart, it would make a lot of sense for you to find a man that can go half, because then that 100 that you were paying, right, you can keep half to yourself. Now, although this is basic math, for whatever reason, it's going over a lot of y'all heads, and I don't understand why. And although everyone should understand and know that a relationship is more than just money, but that's the point you brought up, so that's what I'm going to address. From a mathematical standpoint, you joining forces with someone else or someone going half with whatever it is that you're already paying is a benefit to you. Follow me here. 2 incomes will always be better than 1. Being able to save 50% of your income instead of not being able to save it at all will always be better. So finding someone that you can coexist with comfortably, knowing that he always has his side of the rent, will always be a benefit to you. Those trips that you say you be going on, you can double it next year because you got more money to spend. I will never understand why y'all bring up the concept of money, but don't be willing or ready to spend it. Literally catch a whole attitude and feel disrespected and somewhat offended that a man asks you to spend the money that you brought up in the conversation. Make it make sense. Some of you women in 2025 are the richest broke people I know. Because what is the point of money if it's not going to be spent? What is it? It's just a piece of paper at that point. Got on here and told us about how great your life is, which in turn we all know is cap, because if it was true that you were living this great life, you would never get online to tell us about it. Happy people don't spend time trying to convince people that they're happy. So very indirectly, this is your admission of guilt, wanting a partner. But what you're ultimately trying to tell us is, hey, I can't get the man that I want. Whether that be because of my character or the money I make, I'm not sure. You can specify. However, you need to look within. And once you do, you'll find all the answers to your issues. But even with all that I just said, I know she ain't gonna listen to me because I am just a normal guy. Y'all keep it change.
Kim was talking about the different distinctions and really the double standard between, if there's been a woman, because a lot of women have this complaint, but if there's been a woman that's been with a lot of men, then it's not seen as valuable. But if the man has been with a lot of women, then that was seen as valuable. And, a lot of times these women, they look and say, yeah, she has what I want. Essentially, because a lot of women, a lot of modern women they're kind of lazy, right? They're kind of lazy. They don't want to do the work. I see him treating you right. I see him doing good for you. He bought you that Mercedes. He bought you that bag. Must be a good guy. I want to get a piece of him, right? And so you get his attention at first. He must be good. And and this is what happens. A lot of these modern women, they start off as the side piece, only wanting sex. That's what they want. They talk about, well, let me back up, because a man, they get sex from the man and they want sex from the man because he's doing things that they would want a man to do for her. So that's a turn on for her. That's arousing her. So the next thing is, I'm lusting after him. I really want him in that way because he's doing things for her that I would want done for me. And so we have that connection, and this is what we do because I see him performing in that manner. And I think over time, because I've given him my body, then over time, if that's how far I want to go with it, there's some women just want to be the side chick and they just want, the affair. But over time, I'll have him for myself because I'm so good in that department. And then over time, I will show him who I actually am, and I will be the more valuable person. And then he will leave his wife because I have shown him more value, and I have therefore won the sweepstakes for the high value man.
Have you heard of the man versus bear thought experiment?
Yes, and I too would choose the bear.
Okay, so for our male listeners, set this up. What is this thought experiment?
So you can put any woman in your life like in the scenario.
Okay.
It's like, because you can even ask a man, like if it was your daughter who was in the woods,
Yeah.
would you want her alone in the woods with a bear or with a man?
Yeah, and what do women say?
Always they will pick the bear.
Always?
My algorithm might know me, but I have not seen one of the TikToks where someone picks the man.
Okay, so take me through the reasoning. Why is that?
Well, I guess like with a bear, you know what to expect. And and it's like what it wants is very clear, and it feels a little easier to navigate. And all bears are pretty much the same. With a man, it could be anything. And you don't know what to expect, and you don't know. The worst case with a man feels potentially worse than the worst case with a bear. Is that like, I mean, it sounds bananas, but that's how it feels.
This video has some women and moms upset. I'm about to play it for you, then explain what's happening.
Love me like a sailor. When you get tasty, tell me what's my flavor. I don't believe God, but I believe that you're my savior. My mom says that she's worried, but I'm covered in the sailor.
She got a bit of criticism and it started an argument because people are saying, should kids start asking their dad's side of the story when a mom claimed that they dad didn't want them? You got some bitter moms in the comments saying that this is probably heartbreaking to her mom, that her mom knows best, because if he couldn't be a good husband, how could he be a good dad? Some say he could have been a great dad, but a horrible husband. That a lot of people stated that this happened to them where they were deprived from a relationship with their dad because of their mom. And they didn't find out the truth that their dad actually wanted them until they were older or adults. I'm gonna be honest with you. You should not stop a dad from being a dad because you got beef with him. That's weird. I'm not gonna sit here and say every dad is good. There are deadbeat and bad dads. But don't keep your kid away from the dad because you got some type of bitter beef with him. I'm happy for these two. Hope, their relationship keep growing.
It's your boy,
This is absolutely ridiculous. This woman isn't upset because those men are staring at her. She's actually upset that they're not looking at her. That's right. She's so arrogant and thinks that what she's doing is so impressive that everybody in the gym should be looking at her, to the point where she says they were trying so hard not to look. And because those men aren't looking at her, that they're bitchy. One of the gentlemen saw this and commented. She replied it was his fault, the energy was off, and if she wasn't such a strong woman, she would have left the gym. He said she was entitled and reaching, which of course she was. But hey, that's social media and main character syndrome in 2025. Anything to be a victim or get attention, even when there is literally nobody doing a thing to you. You're ridiculous. Grow up. You need to do better. Mind your own business.
A lot of women say they want a good man until they actually meet one and realize he's not easy to deal with. A good man isn't convenient.
Yeah.
He doesn't bend to chaos. He doesn't abandon his values just because emotions run high. If you've never experienced emotional maturity, you'll misread it every time.
Yeah.
You call him cold because he won't tolerate drama. You call him distant because he protects his peace.
You call him detached because he refuses to beg for approval.
Yeah.
But that isn't coldness. That's self-respect. A man who knows his worth doesn't move from insecurity. He moves from conviction. He doesn't chase chaos. He doesn't chase emotional volatility.
Yeah.
He builds, he leads, he creates order. And for people raised in dysfunction, peace can feel boring until it's gone. Stability doesn't trigger adrenaline, but it does build a life. A good man requires partnership, respect, and emotional regulation.
Yeah.
Good men don't bend. They build. And the right woman doesn't fight that.
Yeah.
She rises to meet it.
Every single man that I know will always tell me that a cute girl is way more attractive than like a super hot, like Victoria's Secret model type girl. Literally heard every single one of my guy friends talk about this before, and it stuns me. And then I just saw a dude make a video like this, and I had to weigh in. And like, I don't know what it is. Like, girls, tell me if I'm wrong or not, but when a dude calls me cute, I'm almost like, I'm sorry, what? Cute? Me? No, you got the wrong girl. But actually, it's apparently way better to be cute than it is to be super hot. 95% of men, if you put a cute girl, super cute girl next to a super hot girl, you put them side by side, 95% of men are gonna pick the cutie.
This is absolutely true because cute equals nice, genuine, and down to earth, whereas hot can include bad attitude and arrogance. So yeah, for guys, when they're calling somebody cute, it's because of their personality combined with their outward appearance, whereas hot can just mean outward appearance.
Listen, I just want to give advice to women out there because I'm a little bit seasoned. If you have a good man, don't think you're going to find a better man somewhere else or leave him for a career. That's stupid as fuck. If you have a good man, stay with him and build with him and just be happy with what you have. Stop thinking there's something better. There isn't. There's not anything better out there. Stay with a good man. Because we get bored and we're like, oh, maybe I want to fuck with this athlete. They're anyway.
Well, not according to a lot of these females online who are trying to recruit other females and making sure that they stay single, making sure that they're decentering men. In fact, they're telling them that, look, there's always a better man out there. So if you're in a relationship and you have a small argument, something very, very, very tiny, right? You should leave him and go find somebody out there that's better than him.
There's a lawsuit not too long ago by an artist that was like hired to your label that was dismissed
twice.
What did you learn going through that?
Never work with women.
Oh, come on.
There's truth in every joke. But it's a sad truth. Like, I will never be alone in a room with a woman that I work with. Like, ever again.
Why?
It's too risky. That case was dismissed twice in two different states. And there's hardly no mention of it online. When that case was brought up, it was on every single blog, every single front page. And I lost so many brand deals, relationships off of a story that was not even slightly believable. She said I sacrificed a goat in a ritual. All people read was the headline, right? And that's all it takes to lose everything. That's a crazy concept. I lost millions of dollars off of an arbitrary story that some woman told. Like a crazy, crazy story that some woman told. So, with that being said, how can I be comfortable being in a room with a woman that I work with and not feel like she can just say whatever she wants? It's like, it's not worth it to me.
Particularly your generation of women who is extremely picky, and that could be a good thing and a bad thing. But I think if you are picky to a kind of crazy point, you either accept that you're never going to find the guy, and if you're fine with that, then that's fine. But what I'm seeing is the majority of women are not fine with that. So you have to kind of get over yourself. You have to understand that you are creating a list that is insane. And so you have to literally sort of stand back and go, oh, okay, maybe it's me, which it could well be. Look at yourself and say, I accept that I'm not going to meet somebody because I only want somebody if they're under these circumstances. And then there will be consequences for being this picky. And if you're fine with it, I'm not the first person to say, live your life, do whatever you want.
You just may never find someone.
Exactly.
That's
and if
the risk.
And this is why women say, we pick the bear. We pick the bear. And he knows I'm recording him too. Because there's so many empty ellipticals, and you pick the one.
Who do you think you are? Like, you have main character syndrome. Who do you seriously think you are? You're in a public gym. That means there's loads of machines that are around and any machine can be used. What? Okay, so people can't look at you now. They can't pull out their phones. They also can't use certain pieces of kit if someone's next to them because that's going to get you in trouble. This is dumb. This is ridiculous. Maybe he struggles with autism or some other mental health condition, which means that he likes to use the same machine every single time. You haven't thought about that. Instead, you've plastered his face online and you've just created this narrative that doesn't even exist. Listen, if you want to use your own equipment and be in your own personal space, get your own gym, get a home gym. You're in a public gym. This is dumb. Like, you've made yourself look really stupid.
And honestly, he brought up a point that I never even thought about, to be honest. Maybe he has autism or something like that, and he likes to use the same machine every time. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be it. I be getting upset when I pull into a parking lot, and I'll pull at the back of the lot, and every like 10 spaces. We did that the other day. Man, we went to go get some barbecue, and I specifically pulled like in a place where there was there was nobody. Not 5 seconds later. Well, it was like a couple of minutes later. Some people pulled in, and when I'm telling you I'm away from everybody, I mean I'm away, right? There's plenty of like spots. There's like, I think the next person, in a parking lot where you had stalls or spots on both sides, and you could just drive through the parking spots. I think there was like 4 or 5, I want to say, spots in the distance. And those spots were empty too, because it was sporadic. It wasn't busy. You had cars parked in those different spots, right? Up closer to the front, you would expect. Instead of saying, oh, here he is in his car, let me park maybe a spot away, or over here on the other side. They come and they pull right up behind us. And me and my wife are like, why would you do that? So I get it, right? I understand it. It is annoying, but I didn't necessarily go straight to, this is why I choose the bear. And this is why I don't like white people right here, because they always want to be up in your space, and they always want to block you in. And when they block you in, they are pressing you. And that's what they're keeping their thumb on me right now, because I'm a black man. I didn't do that, because that would have been stupid, and that would have been a reach, and I would have looked like an idiot.